Yo, what's up? My name is Lexi. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you the #1 mental trick to improve in Brawlhalla fast. If this video ends up helping you, make sure to like, subscribe to the channel, as I'm going to be doing a ton of guides to help you guys improve at Brawlhalla. And if you want any personal coaching from me, check out the link down below. Also, just like a quick thank you, we already reached 200 subscribers on the first upload, which is absolutely insane, and we already have like 1,000 views, so like it's going crazy. We're popping off, right? And yeah, so yeah, thank you, seriously. And let's keep on growing. Maybe we can get 1K by the end of the year. I know it's kind of like a crazy goal, but you know, maybe we can do it. I mean, we're getting 1K views. You know, if all of you subscribe, you know, we'd already hit it. So subscribe, please. Okay, so whenever we're playing a game and we're fighting like a very specific playstyle, so like for example, if like your opponent's overly passive and they're just kind of like sitting on the edge, maybe they're like in the hair doing like something like this, or your opponent's like playing overly aggressive, so like they're constantly running in, constantly attacking you, and like they're constantly in your space, and you start like thinking about that, and you're like, oh my god, like why is my opponent like sitting on the edge of the stage? Why is he running from me constantly? You're like, man, I want my opponent back off. Like, I want my opponent away from me. Or maybe it's like a specific weapon. So like you're fighting like, you know, Sai, for example, and I don't know, they're like constantly doing inlight and neutral, and you don't know how to like punish inlight and neutral. So you're like, oh my god, this move's like so unpunishable. Sai's so broken. Or like you're fighting Lance, and you know they're constantly doing Sarah, and you're like, oh my god, Sarah's so much like momentum. Like, how do I punish this? How do I space against this? Why is he in the air? You know, and you start getting like thoughts like that. And obviously that's like how tilt like, you know, starts going into your gameplay, right? Like you start thinking about this, and then when you start tilting, when you start thinking about this, you stop thinking about the game in general. So like you're not thinking about like neutral, or like how to hit your opponent, or like how to bait out your opponent, or like what your opponent's dodges are. Like you don't think about anything. You just think about, oh my god, this is so annoying, or this is so broken, or you know, I just want this game to like be over already because this guy's, you know, 8-minuting me, you know, whatever. And what happens is, instead of like thinking, you just start overly aggressing. Whenever you're like in neutral, instead of like, you know, trying to be like, you know, baiting your opponent, trying to space properly, making sure you have stage control or anything, you just run in and like Sarah them, and like inlight, and then jump Sarah, and then, you know, doing whatever. And you just completely stop thinking about it. You just constantly play aggressive. And what happens when you do that is it becomes really easy to punish you, right? Because obviously, like, I'm gonna know that you're just gonna run into me no matter what. And so, like, if I know that you're about to run into me, like, I can start reacting to all your dashes. Because if you're dashing into me, I already know you're about to attack me, because you're just not thinking about that. So, like, whenever you dash into me, right? Whenever you try going for, like, you know, dash side light, right? I'm not going to let you hit me. I'm just going to do scythe in light, and then, you know, stuff out your side light. So, you don't even have to think anymore. I can just punish you for everything. And I can just keep proper spacing, right? Like, if I just stay, like, kind of just a dash away, I'll, like, guarantee every punish. Because you're just not thinking, right? You're just going to run in and attack me. So, I don't really have to worry too much. I can just kind of relax, enjoy myself, right? Maybe even go for like a few clips, because I already know how you're gonna react. Like, you're probably gonna dodge in all the time. Like, you're gonna have very obvious habits just because you're tilting too much. You're not thinking about what you're actually doing or what your opponent's doing. So because of how easy it is to punish you, you're just gonna start losing a ton of elo. And like, a lot of people lose like 100 elo just because like they're constantly aggressing, and like they're like, oh my god, why am I losing so much? Why am I, like, you know, if they're like plat, why am I deranking to gold? Or like, you know, even if they're like higher elo, like 2400, they go down to like 2200, and they're like, what just happened? Like, why did I lose so much elo, right? The reason why is just because you're tilting so much, right? And this happens all the time. Like, I'm gonna like post a picture of like Tripped Up here, and like he went from like 2400 all the way back down to 2100 at the end of the season. It's actually like one of the funniest screenshots, right? And the reason why is just because you're tilting too much. Like, stop tilting, stop thinking too much about like what's going on in the game, and like start thinking about your actual, like, how to improve, or like how to, you know, like what you're doing in neutral, what your opponent's doing, and like figure out how to counter them, that kind of stuff. But yeah, whenever you get tilted, you need to start actually catching yourself for this kind of stuff. Like, you don't want to always just tilt every single day, every time you play a game. So what you need to do is, whenever your opponent's like, you know, playing passive or whatever, and you start like complaining about it, you're like, oh my god, why is my opponent like running from me? That's so annoying. Start catching yourself for that. And it's not as easy as just like following your thoughts. So the best way to kind of go about it is, there's like a few like kind of flags that kind of appear whenever you start tilting. Number one is you're getting punished a lot. So like, if you're constantly running in and you're noticing yourself getting punished, there's probably a reason why. You just probably slow down and start thinking about what's going on. Part two could be like, you're just spamming out stuff. So like, a lot of people, like, whenever you get to like red and they're tilting, they don't think about trying to play like safe or anything and go for like a kill option. They just think about running in with like constant sigs without like any thought about it. It's like, if you notice, like, there's just a bunch of SIGs and nothing's hitting, nothing's connecting, and you're getting punched for that too. That's like another one. Also, like, you know, like, you'll notice like your thoughts. You'll be like, oh my god, like, why is this guy playing so annoying? Or like, this weapon's so boosted. That's another one. So you need to catch yourself for that. And then also like going on a loss streak. Like, if you notice you're losing like 3 games in a row, maybe they're even like, you know, a minute game, and you're like, wait, what's going on, right? You need to like start slowing yourself down. You'd be like, oh wait a minute, I'm 100% tilting. And once ever you catch yourself for tilting, whether it's like easy or whether it takes a minute, you're just gonna get more used to it. You're gonna to see more of these like kind of red flags that pop up and be like, oh, I need to stop doing this. Like I need to like lock in for a minute. I need to not, you know, over the tilt and like complain too much. Whenever you catch yourself for this, the next thing you want to do is, if you're in a game and you like catch yourself for it, like just relax as much as you can, finish the game, and then close out a brawl. Or like if you just finished the game, you lost and you notice yourself tilting, right? You're ready to throw your controller, to close out a brawl, please, right? Especially if you're gonna throw your controller, please don't play another game, because you're probably gonna actually throw it and then you're gonna be out of like, you know, $90 because of how expensive PlayStation controllers are now. So yeah, whenever you close out a brawl, you then want to just go do something that's like not mental task, but like just something relaxing. So like, you know, go for a walk, or like go for the gym, or just listen to some music, right? And it kind of depends on like, you know, your personal preference. Like, do you need like 5-minute breaks, or do you need like an hour break? Like sort of whatever your mind needs. And also like, you know, are you more of like a guy who's gonna like want to work out, or do you want to just listen to music and relax? Like whatever you want to do, just find sort of like an activity that kind of is just relaxing, right? And even like make something, you know, go listen to music in the gym. Where I mean, why wouldn't you listen to music in the gym? I don't know, you're kind of weird if you don't. But you know, go for a walk and like listen to music, or maybe you can do like some stretches during your walk or something like that. Like just find whatever works for you, something to relax, take your mind off a brawl, and then right, you know, after like 5 minutes or maybe 30 minutes or an hour or whatever, right, depending on whatever activity you chose, go back into brawl, and then that's when you can start playing. Like once your mind's reset, and you'll know when your mind's reset because you're like, oh wait, I'm ready to go back into brawl, right? And so go back into brawl, go have fun, or you know, go to improve, go watch your replays, or you know, lock in, right? Play neutral. People, like some people, they can figure this out kind of fast. They can like sort of reset themselves fast. And if you're one of those people, you can also like, you don't have to like go out and like go for a walk or anything, but you can like literally just try and just like, you know, take a breather. Like especially in like tournaments, like if you're in a tournament, obviously you can't just like run out and just go outside and start going for a walk. You can't just go to your local gym in the whatever area you're in, right, playing the tournament. What you can do then is just like during the set, before the next game starts, just take a minute and just close your eyes, take a deep breath, and then, you know, reset yourself there and just be like, okay, I need to lock in, right? Just take a few breathers, then go to your next set, right? You know, go to your next game. You know, game 5 is about to happen. You gotta be ready for that, right? You can't be tilting on game 5. Make sure you have that, right? Make sure you're just relaxing between sets. You can do that. And then like if it's like ranked and you just do want to have that kind of like tournament mindset, you can take longer than like at 30 seconds. You can like take a whole 5-minute break of just like sitting in the ranked lobby and just kind of like closing your eyes, calming yourself down, just like don't think about the game, just kind of reset yourself, be like, okay, about to go to the next one, you know, figure out what I did wrong, and just reset yourself constantly, right? Or even just like 5-minute break, just laying down like a quick power nap or something. Maybe not 5 minutes. If we're doing a power nap, do 10 minutes. That's like a more health thing, but yeah. You know, just find something to do and just relax, and that's pretty much the big thing. Then you can go back into your game and you're fine. And then sort of just like last notes, if you are raging over something, right, and when you're tilting, do this the next day, right, before you like go into the game and like start playing rank. Go back into the replays and figure out like what you're doing bad, even like during tilting or like after tilting, and just to make sure you don't have any habits. Like for example, if you're tilting too much and you're playing over aggressive, right, a lot of the times like what people will do is they'll like be playing spear, and like when they're overly tilted, they'll do sidelight into D-light, right, which isn't true, right, but you know, over aggressive, they're not thinking, and they would get punished for it. And so like if you're playing in a game and even when you're not tilting, right, because you've tilted and you've been doing this over and over again, even when you're not tilting, you're gonna make it a habit, right? So make sure you don't have any like bad habits from tilting, and figure out like, you know, mistakes you do while you're tilting, so that then you can catch yourself for it later on when you start tilting, and you can be like, oh wait, I'm tilting, let me reset. And also just so you can review your replay and, you know, find any like mistakes you're doing in general, right? Just make sure you're always water review. That's a big one. For the kind of playstyles you get mad at, like for example, if you're like struggling against passive players or like over aggressive players or something like that, you know, go figure out how to beat them. And I mean, there's literally a video like talking about what to do when your opponent's like playing like too aggressive or like overly passive. So, you know, go check that one out. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. This is kind of just a more short one talking about mental, right? Because I know it's not like talked about a lot, and I kind of wanted like something simple just to like remind you to, you know, stop like overthinking about a certain playstyle and like start focusing on the game, right? Because at the end of the day, like it doesn't matter how your opponent's playing. He's not the rank 1, like, well, I mean, maybe he is the rank 1, right? But he's not like constantly winning every single game. He's probably lost at least one game, right? So like there's always a way to counter him, and you just need to figure it out.